Hello, hello, hello! Hello everyone! In this video we're going to see the initial installation and configuration of a Chromecast with Google TV, in this case the HD model. As I'm sure you already know, the Chromecast is a Google device that helps us turn our TV into a smart TV, in this case, with a Google TV operating system. And we have two models with two different resolutions. This one with HD resolution at 1080, and then there's also a 4K version. As for the contents of the box, we're going to find a small quick start guide on one side. Then we have the USB connection cable along with the network adapter so we can connect the device to the mains. Down here, we see the remote control next to what is the Chromecast itself. And finally, we have the two batteries for the remote control. As for the remote control, as you can see, it's super small and weighs practically nothing. It's very light. At the top, there's the directional wheel for navigating the menus along with the OK button, the central button that is used to enter each of the options. Further down, there's the button to go back, the button to activate the Google Voice Assistant. Next, there's the button to return to the start, that is the home button, along with the little button to mute the volume. And we're finishing with two custom buttons, in this case, one for direct access to YouTube and another for direct access to Netflix. And lastly, first, the button to turn off or on the Chromecast, and second, to select the input source. As for the device itself, as you can see, it's super simple. It's very basic. We only have on one side a short cable with an HDMI connection, which we'll need to connect to the TV. On the other side, we find a USB-C connection, in which we have to connect the cable we have seen before, and that cable connected to the electrical network with the network adapter that is also included. And finally, on the back, we find this small button at the top, which we use to reset or factory reset the Chromecast, along with an indicator LED. Well guys, once we have installed and connected our Google Chromecast with Google TV, these are the first screens that we are going to start seeing. It should be noted that I have tried to make the connection only by connecting the USB port of the Google Chromecast to the TV, but it has not been possible. It gives me an error and asks me to connect it to the mains, so keep in mind that you will have to have a free plug near the television. As you can see on the first screen, the first thing the Chromecast asks us to do is to pair the controller and press the back and home arrows at the same time for about 3 seconds. So let's go. As you see, he has picked it up and we continue. On the next screen, we select the language, in my case, Spanish from Spain. The next thing it asks us is if we want to continue the configuration of our Chromecast with the Google Home application. That is, if we want to do the configuration directly from the smartphone. In this case, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it all just with the remote control and with the TV. So, we press down and click on Configure on TV. The next thing we have to select is the Wi-Fi network to which the Chromecast is going to connect in order to work. In this case, select your home Wi-Fi network and enter the password. Once you enter it, you'll see how the connection to your router begins. Once connected to the Wi-Fi, updates will begin. So in this step, we let it continue on its own until it gives us the option to continue with the remote control. Once the updates are finished, the phone, as you can see, restarts. Once we regain control of the device, the next thing we have to do is put in our Google account. So, we click on the box to type and enter our Gmail account. Once we've set it, click on Next and you'll have to enter your password. Once you have it on, we also click on Next again. On the next few screens, it informs us about the whole privacy issue and stuff. We're just going to click on Got it and OK. This screen is totally optional. You can select these things or not. When you have it clear, simply click OK. Now he asks us if we want to subscribe to receive emails. Well, in this case, I'm going to say no. Thank you. On this screen, we accept the use of Google's Voice Assistant. And on the next, we are going to click on Allow, so that through Google's Voice Assistant, we can search in all the television applications. The next section is quite interesting as Chromecast will allow us to choose which apps we want to pre-install on our device so they are available as soon as we start. As you can see, the YouTube app cannot be deselected. That is, it's a native app and can't be uninstalled. But in my case, for example, we're going to choose what I want pre-installed: Netflix and Crunchyroll. I want these two apps installed when we finish the setup. You can select the ones you want. Once you're clear on that, go to the right and click on Confirm. The next section informs us of something quite important, and it's telling us that the Google Chromecast remote control is perfectly configured, and we'll be able to use it to control both the device and the television. That is, we'll be able to turn off the television, as you're seeing now in the image, and control the volume with the side buttons, if you can see them, without needing to use the TV remote, since in this case the TV is compatible. This might not be the case for everyone. I mean, the TV has to have special software for this to be compatible, and you can use the Chromecast remote to manage both the power on and off and the volume. Again, this might not work for everyone. It will only work for people who have a compatible television. Now we continue by clicking on Continue, and as you can see, it's saying configuring your TV, and it's at 13%. Right now it's installing all the default apps, plus the 2 apps I told it I wanted, Netflix and Crunchyroll. So we'll need to wait a bit longer. And finally, on this last screen, once the Chromecast has finished all the installations, press Start Exploring, and as you can see, we have the main menu for our Chromecast with Google TV right here. The Chromecast with Google TV is incredibly easy to use. In the top bar, as you can see, we start on the left where our profile is, and from where we can add other accounts. In the For You section, we have a compilation of things that might interest us, things we've watched before or at some other time which could also interest us. Moving on to the Movies section, where we're also given a little recommendation that we might like, but only related to movies. The system is pretty neat because, as you can see, it tells us the platform where we'll find each movie underneath it, along with a rating on different websites. Moreover, you'll either see a padlock or nothing next to the platform's name. Our Chromecast will detect whether or not we have the application installed and if our account is active. In the next section, well, it's pretty much the same, but for series instead of movies. The next section is for applications. Here, honestly, I'm not telling you anything new. This is where you're going to be able to download all the applications for your Google Chromecast. And lastly, in the library section is where you'll find content you've bought, rented, or added to your list. On the right side, we have the search magnifier, where we can perform a full search, whether it's for movies, series, or applications. And lastly, we have the settings section, from which we can modify all types of settings, as well as Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or add a screensaver. Alright guys, that's it for this video. As always, I hope I've helped you in this case to perform the initial installation and setup of your Chromecast with Google TV. If so, don't forget to leave me a good like, it's super important, and to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. From me, that's all. As always, a pleasure, and see you in the next video.